Ciao a tutti. So it's Tuesday, so I'm here for the Tuesday letter series. And so I'll share a couple of things with you. So the letter I'm going to share with you today is intensely personal, and it's also very short. This is something that I wrote. It's dated April 1, 2016. And a little background. At this time, I had been assaulted by a white male student on New York Law School's campus in October of 2014. And this is one of the byproducts of that assault. And it simply says, it's written on a little sticky note, it simply says, "I don't feel well. If I don't wake up, I want you to have this. I love you." And it's signed by me. This note was then stuck on top of a check, and that check had everything that remained in my account at the time. And so there's that. Very short. And that was April 1, 2016. A lot has happened since then. I really don't want to even dwell on this right now because there's a lot more that I want to move on to. But I'll tell you this, that race and gender discrimination is very real. Some of the people committing it are sitting in some of the highest offices. They're sitting in professions that are charged with protecting, defending, and upholding law and justice in the United States. When these events were occurring, as they occurred, and as they were being dealt with, women and men who were attorneys and some who were soon to be attorneys were involved in not just obstructing justice, but they swiftly came to the aid to a white male sexual predator. They did everything they could to ensure that he was not held accountable. One of those people was the Title IX coordinator of New York Law School at the time, a white female named Victoria Isis. Many of the students were involved. There was one male student who was a police officer, who took it upon himself to express and convey his displeasure with me reporting Stephen Nesbitt. He decided to convey his displeasure in using very aggressive methods. And he was a police officer, a white male police officer. So we're told that there are people that we can trust, and I want you to screen and rescreen your employees to make sure that you do not inadvertently hire someone who will allow these sorts of injustices to happen at your place of work, in your home, wherever they may be. Also, your friendships, they're very important. A lot of these people are I don't even want to say gone into hiding. A lot of these people are now there's some of the loudest voices screaming Black Lives Matter now, as almost to distract and deflect attention away from what it is that they've done. So I want you to be aware of that as well. Some of you may be aware that I reported a federal judge. See, I write things down, and I keep records. So this man who let his full racist flag fly while wearing his judicial robes, the events that occurred at the hands of James L. Cott, the federal judge that I reported, they occurred in his courtroom during working hours, during a settlement. And if you know anything about the federal courts, litigants like myself were not permitted to bring in recording devices. So he felt very confident that he could get away with everything that he has to date been permitted to get away with. I reported him to the Court of Appeals, to the division that oversees him, and they permitted him to remain in that position. And yeah, so it's not only his name that you need to remember, it's the people that he recommends, the people that he associates with. It's hard to believe that birds of a feather flock together. It's very hard to believe that he's associated with people who do not share his values and his views. Also, the people who stood idly by. There's a panel of people who receive, when you submit a complaint against a judge, there's a panel of people who receive that complaint. And there's a panel of people, Hispanic people, Black people included. There are men and women on that panel who said, no biggie, no big deal. That as he was violating my rights, that what he did was not a problem. So that's the other thing. And yeah, so remember that too. As you're looking at the people who are committing wrongs, remember that there are people who are insulating them and protecting them because they deserve credit. You know, you should get all the credit that you do. So there's that. I will talk to you soon. There's another letter I'm going to read to you very, very soon. Okay, talk to you. Ciao, ciao.